Hello, welcome to President Time. Today we're going to talk about President number 41, George H.R. Bush. All right, before we learn about Bush, let's review yesterday's President number 40. You remember his name? That's right, Ronald Reagan. And if you listened yesterday, what do you remember about Ronald Reagan? Yes, he's from our state of Illinois. And yes, somebody tried to shoot him. They did shoot him, but he survived, didn't he? And finished out his term. He was married. He was married twice, and he had one son and one daughter with each wife. He was an actor. He was in lots of movies, lots of cowboy movies before he became president. And his wife, Nancy, was also in movies. All right. So Ronald Reagan. So he finished his 2 terms. And George H.W. Bush was elected as president. And George Bush was only president for 1 term. How many years? 4. That is correct. Now, George Bush was from the state of Massachusetts, and we've had presidents from Massachusetts before. This little purple one here, Boston is in Massachusetts. See the whole country here. It's a small one way up here in the Northeast. And he was born from a wealthy family. Here's the pictures you can look at here. He was born from the wealthy family. He was a very good athlete. He played lots of sports. He loved watching all sports. But he did play baseball in college. He went to Yale University. It's a very prestigious university, Yale, and he played baseball there. He also liked golf and fishing and speedboating and tennis and horseshoes and hunting. He also reads and watches television and watches movies, goes to the movies. Let's see. While he was president, yes, he sent some of our troops to the country of Kuwait, and that war was called Desert Storm. That's why you see the tanks and things there. The true trivia: he was the youngest torpedo bomber pilot in the Navy during World War II. So he was a pilot, and he had a torpedo bomber. And his plane was shot down, but he survived. And the fun fact, he held a lot of government offices before he became president. And this one shows he worked for the CIA, and he was a spy. And he was married to Barbara. And he and Barbara had 4 sons and 2 daughters. 4 plus 2 equals 6. That's right. One of the children died when they were very young, so he had 5 when he became president. Let's see. I think I got it all on here. George H.W. Bush. He was married to Barbara. Here is First Lady Barbara. That's better. Here is First Lady Barbara. And she was from New York. She loved sports too. And she met George at a school dance and then married him 4 years later. And they had 6 children. And during their marriage, it says they moved 29 times. That's a lot of packing. It's a lot of packing with any children, with any number of children, but they had 6 of them. And she called herself everyone's grandmother. Everyone's grandmother. Because she promoted literacy or reading. She said everybody should be able to learn to read. It's so important. And she's so right. It is so important to learn to read. All right. Pets. Of course, guess what pet he had? Ha, a dog. You're right. Millie. he had Millie. And look, yes, Millie has some puppies there. So Millie became a famous author. She was owned by First Lady Barbara, and Barbara wrote the dog called Millie's Book, A Dog's Eye View of the White House. So it was said, she told it like Millie sees the White House. And it was a very popular book. And Millie had 6 puppies. And she was on the cover of a magazine, on Life magazine. So she had 6 puppies. And one of the puppies was kept by one of their sons. And his name was also George Bush. And guess what? We're going to learn about him in a couple days because he also became president. So Barbara Bush was the first lady, and she was also the mother of a president. Ready for the silly picture? Here's his silly picture. He's riding on a camel in Desert Storm because it was a desert. It's a desert area. He was a quiet gentleman who would rather talk than fight. He played first base for his baseball team. And it says, eat your vegetables. Broccoli farmers were upset when George Bush said that he did not like broccoli. He did not like broccoli, and he said, we're not going to have broccoli in the White House. So farmers were upset because he said that, and they sent truckloads of broccoli to the White House. Well, Barbara Bush graciously accepted the broccoli, but President Bush said, I'm the President of the United States, and I don't have to eat broccoli if I don't want to. How many of you like broccoli? It's very healthy. It's good for you. It's good raw, and it's good cooked. All right. George H.W. Bush. H.W. is for Herbert Walker. George Herbert Walker Bush. And we called him H.W. to keep him separate from his son, who was also George Bush. All right. Thanks for joining me today. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We have to say the presidents. We have to sing the presidents. Are we ready? Should I zoom in a little bit more? There we go. There we go. Got your singing voice on? Can you see it? History's full of people and times, but you can learn them with this rhyme. Presidents of the USA have made our country great today. Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Adams, Jackson, Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler, Polk, Taylor, Fillmore, Pearson, Buchanan, Lincoln, Johnson, Grant, Hayes, Garfield, Arthur, Cleveland, Harrison, Cleveland, McKinley, Roosevelt, Taft, Wilson, Harding, and Coolidge, Hoover, Roosevelt, Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush. Sorry, Emily, we'll finish them next week. Maybe Friday we'll add Trump on there, even though he's on for Monday. All right. Thank you for joining me today. And I'll see you next time for President number 42. Goodness. 42. All right. Bye-bye. Enjoy your day.